match appearance, Maleficent, and making her debut here tonight, Esmeralda. There is a large gap of experience all the way through this 8-woman field. As Esmeralda up over the top, as she's already eliminated. So that limited experience comes into play. Harley Quinn eliminates the Gypsy from Notre Dame. So a very short appearance here in her FWE debut for Esmeralda. 7 women remain. Katniss Everdeen down, Wonder Woman just now getting back up to her feet. Big slam there from the Amazon, known as Wonder Woman. Don't forget, later on tonight in our main event is, oh wait a minute, over in the far corner, Harley Quinn in trouble. Gets back down from that top rope. She was up perched on that top turnbuckle. And now Wonder Woman has her on the ropes. Tonight in our main event, Dylan Young gets his title rematch against Shaggy Rogers, a ladder match to determine the Tri-Wizard champion. Big slam there from Harley Quinn to Gamora. As Wonder Woman with a bear hug here on the defending champion, Nebula. Daphne Blake has Maleficent up, partially over the top rope, as she will eliminate the Mistress of All Evil. Esmeralda and Maleficent eliminated. 6 women remain. Female Fighting Championship on the line in this Battle Royale. Facebuster from Gamora to Katniss Everdeen. Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn facing off. High knee from Katniss. I believe that all the women in the ring right now, with the exception of Katniss Everdeen, they were in that Women's World Championship match back at FWE Fantasia. Daphne, Harley, Nebula, Diana, and Gamora. And an Alabama slam from Wonder Woman. Main focus of this type of a matchup really is to just survive, last as long as you can until the very end, to have a chance of being the last woman standing. You see Gamora over there in the corner. This is smart, kind of stay low. Don't let anybody spot you. Bide your time, pick your moments. Nebula! With a big boot right across the front of the face of Daphne Blake. Jawbreaker by Harley Quinn to Gamora. But the goal is you gotta get him over the top rope. Both feet hit the floor for an elimination. You can do all the damage you want inside the ring. Whoa, back fist there by Nebula to Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn might be out. As look at this, no sisterly love. They may be the tag team champions together, but there's only one title up for grabs in this matchup. As now Katniss in trouble there on the far side. Wonder Woman looking to eliminate Katniss Everdeen and will. 3 down, 5 to go. Well, technically 4 to go. Up, Gamora. Gamora hanging on. I believe that was Harley Quinn that was going for the elimination, and Wonder Woman blindsided her with a clothesline from behind. That allowed Gamora to stay in. Twist of hate from Harley Quinn. And now Wonder Woman up over the top. Harley Quinn looking for the elimination on Diana. Diana with the shoulder block to the gut. Comes back in through the ropes. And Harley's going to get hit with a powerbomb. Gamora and Daphne facing off over there. Nebula, the defending champion, in the corner. Gamora up over the top, and Daphne is going to eliminate Gamora. Where is Gamora? She's out of this match. We're down to 4. Running power slam from Wonder Woman to Nebula. Remember back to the qualifying match between these two. They had an incredible barn burner, and Nebula's going to get a little revenge there. She's going to take out Wonder Woman. We're down to 3. Nebula, the defending champion, has a 33 and a third % chance now of retaining the title. Daphne looking for her first championship here in FWE. Harley Quinn looking to become a 2-time fighting female champion as hits that roundhouse kick. Daphne a little dazed right now. I don't know if Harley got all that kick, but it might have been enough. It's Daphne up over the top rope. Harley Quinn looking for the elimination. Daphne teetering, trying to hang on, and a right hand is going to take her down to the floor. We're down to 2. The defending champion and the former champion, Harley Quinn and Nebula. Nebula up over the top, and Nebula is eliminated. Harley Quinn is a 2-time fighting female champion in FWE.
Here is your winner, and new female fighting champion, the Psycho Harley Quinn.
This will mark Harley Quinn's 4th victory in a battle royal, and the 2nd time she will hold Female Fighting Championship gold. Still to come tonight, Anthony McCrory faces against Gaston for the United States Championship next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the United States Championship.
Well, Anthony McCrory last week, winner of a fatal 4-way qualifying match. And he gets the opportunity here tonight as the #1 contender for the United States Championship. Gaston winning the title back prior to FWE Fantasia from Nick Gunther, defended it successfully in Gunther's title rematch. And here tonight he puts the title on the line. Anthony McCrory looking for his first opportunity at championship gold here in FWE. Anthony kind of taking a bit of an Eddie Guerrero page out of the playbook last week when he quite literally stole the pinfall to have this shot at United States Championship gold here tonight. Well, the champion Gaston, he's not exactly been a fighting champion by any means. Last time that we saw him in the ring, he was in that mid-card title matchup between himself and the Intercontinental Champion Michael Norman. Michael Norman, the winner of that exchange. Gaston has actually only defended the championship once since winning the title, and that was in the title rematch with Nick Gunther. This is going to be the first new challenger that Gaston will have with the U.S. title on the line. You can hear the crowd here in Albany, New York. Not that much in the corner of Gaston. Gaston really does care about the opinion of people. We'll see if that affects him during this matchup.
Introducing the challenger from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Anthony! And his opponent from Paris, France, weighing in at 240 pounds, the United States champion, the X.
Well, Gaston almost reluctantly hands the title over to referee Ernest Wright, shows it to the number one contender, Anthony McCreary, and we are ready to get this United States Championship match underway. First of two titles on the line here this evening. Gaston right out of the gate, shoulder tackle to Anthony McCreary, and hits the big splash. And he's going to hit a second splash on Anthony. Gaston, obviously the larger of the two participants. Oh, went for a third splash, and Anthony preempted it that time. Anthony is deceptively strong, though I do think that if we had ourselves a strength contest, Gaston would have the advantage. They're about the same in terms of height. I believe the athleticism advantage, though, would go to Anthony McCreary, though I don't think you'll necessarily see either of these guys going up to the top rope, but Anthony will go over the top rope. What a flying senton to the outside, taking out the champion. And referee Ernest Wright beginning the 10 count. Title cannot change hands on a count out or a disqualification. Anthony back inside of the ring. He's got to realize he's got to get Gaston back between the ropes to be able to have a shot at this title. Anthony might be waiting this out. I was going to say he might. Yep, there we go. He goes back to the outside, so now the referee's count resets. I don't know if this is smart by Anthony or not, as he's going to hit a kind of a modified GTS there, a rather lower framed GTS on Gaston. Anthony trying to do as much damage to his opponent as he can on the outside here, but I would kind of almost feel that, you know, the outside where pretty much brawl tactics come into play, that would maybe favor somebody like Gaston. And now Gaston, backbreaker to Anthony. And now bow and arrow submission across the knee. Trying to wear out the lower back of McCreary. Brings him up and down, powerbomb. Anthony with a kick butt though, and a big boot right to the mush. It's like that powerbomb awoken Anthony McCreary, who now is going to go, well, I think he was going to go for the belly-to-belly overhead suplex. Gaston's preempted it and fights out with right hands. Back elbow by Anthony. And now Gaston hoisting Anthony up. Snake eyes in the corner. And just throwing Anthony across the ring. And a boot to the head. I think that the corner of his boot may have actually caught Anthony right in the forehead. Anthony is busted open, and that is a bad gash right there. Anthony, though, with a springboard frog splash. Thought he might go for the cover there, but no. Kick to the lower back. Looked like he was trying to pick the leg, and now sleeper hold. Anthony with the sleeper hold in on Gaston. Gaston trying to fight out, and he will with a modified jawbreaker. Anthony's face is a crimson mass. Another snake eyes there. Gaston looking to retain the title. Had a kick out at 1. Anthony doesn't even look like he can really open up his right eye. fighting with just one eye open as he hits the disaster kick from the second rope. Here's the cover to win the United States Championship. And Gaston will kick out at 1. Anthony looking to keep the offense going. And puts the sleeper hold back in again. Will Gaston go to sleep? Again, a counter by Gaston. Now Gaston hoisting Anthony up. And he's going to throat him right on the top rope. Now working on the leg, wrenching on the left leg of Anthony McCrory. Trying to maybe hyperextend that knee. And Anthony will roll to the outside for a little bit of a break here. Gaston, though, not going to allow it, going to follow him out. Oh, Gaston. Oh, what a clubbing blow right across the chest. Keep an eye on referee Ernest Wright as, look at this, dead weight hoisting Anthony up. Dominator on the outside. A devastating dominator. And then a straight right hand. Anthony is floored. He may be out on his feet. Gaston, feeling that the end is near, deposits him back into the ring. Gaston is going to go to the top. We don't see him do this very often. Elbow right to the back of Anthony McCrory. That could be it to retain the United States Championship. And Anthony just gets the shoulder up at 2. Gaston frustrated. Gaston has him up again. Might be looking for the power slam. And now, waiting on Anthony to get to his feet. Big boot. Lights out. That's got to be it. Gaston is going to retain the United States Championship here tonight. A valiant effort by Anthony, but Gaston.
And still, United States champion, the X.
Well, we mentioned the fact Gaston does not defend the title all that often since he won it. But when he defends it to win. Gaston, still your United States champion. Up next, we continue on here. FWE, I believe up next, it's Matt McIntyre versus Ernie the Elf. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to FWE. And I have actually been misinformed. We are now getting set to determine.
4-1 fall. On the way to the ring, accompanied by Bam, the Queen.
I didn't want to interrupt our ring announcer, Mike Rowe. We'll have Ernie the Elf versus Matt McIntyre following this matchup, where we are going to determine the #1 contenders for the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships. Jasmine and Rapunzel representing the Disney Queens, accompanied by fellow faction member Belle, ready to take on, we understand, a debuting tag team. Well, making their FWE debut are the arch rivals, now frenemies here, Kim Possible and Shigo. We saw Esmeralda make her FWE debut earlier on tonight in the Female Fighting Championship Battle Royale. Opportunity here now for Kim Possible and Shigo to be the #1 contenders to take on Nebula and Gamora, the daughters of Thanos, and we understand that title match will be taking place next week. Here we go, Shigo gonna face off against Jasmine to kick this thing off. Winners of this matchup become the #1 contenders. Will fight for the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships next week here on FWE. Jasmine, nice drop kick there in the corner to Shigo. We continue to be surprised as the FWE roster continues to expand. Double team here by the Disney Queens as Shigo goes up and over. Rapunzel now legal, drop kick to the back of the head. Tag made, Jasmine back in. Woman who learned a lot on the streets of Agrabah. How about this unique tag team though with Kim Possible and Shigo? These two are normally at odds with each other, but they've come together here tonight, formulated a tag team looking to make one step closer towards championship gold here in FWE. Cover in by Jasmine. And a kick out by Shigo. Saw Kim Possible. Looked like she was going to try and break up that pinfall. Feeling that her tag team partner was in trouble. Rapunzel was looking to block the breakup of the pinfall attempt. Shigo now fighting out of the grasp of Jasmine. Oh, and a big knee. And for the first time, we'll see Kim Possible between the ropes. Oh, went for a Meteora in the corner. Jasmine was able to get out in time. She's not going to be able to avoid those devastating knees by Kim Possible. And now, left hands raining down on the side of Jasmine's head. Oh, it looked like Kim Possible was going for a shot on Rapunzel. Rapunzel fights back, and there was a tag. Jasmine did get the tag to Rapunzel. Nice snap suplex. And Rapunzel now going for the airplane head scissors. I just noticed that the tag team here for the Disney Queens, both are barefooted. Big kick there by Kim Possible. Springboard forearm, takes down Rapunzel. Here's the cover to become the #1 contenders for the tag team championships, and a kick out at 1 by Rapunzel. Irish whipped across the ring. Big drop kick there by Rapunzel. Kim a little dazed, and now Rapunzel gonna work on the left arm. Now going for, looks like an arm bar locked in here. Shigo in to break up that submission. Jasmine, whoa. I don't know what exactly happened there. Stunner! Stunner by Kim Possible to Rapunzel. Meanwhile, on the outside, Jasmine and Shigo trading blows just off camera. So nobody right now for either Rapunzel or Kim Possible to tag. There is a modified GTS. Rapunzel back up to her feet, meets a right hand. Irish whip once again. Another drop kick by Rapunzel. Back elbow by Kim Possible. Oh, referee Ernest Wright gets in the way. Rapunzel with a DDT on Kim Possible. Here's the cover to be the #1 contenders. Kick out at 1. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, still to come here tonight, immediately following this matchup, the rivalry between Matt McIntyre and the Keebler Elves gets its next chapter of the story. A submission match between Matt and Ernie the Keebler Elf. Double shoulder block by the Disney Queens. And in tonight's main event, a ladder match. The current champion, Shaggy Rogers, the former champion, I should say. Oh, went for looked like a leg drop there and missed. And a clothesline by Kim Possible. The former champion Dylan Young looking to get his title back. Cover! Cover is in here! And a Jasmine with a kick out at 1. A ladder match to determine the Tri-Wizard champion in our main event. Big kick there from Shigo. Lights out for Jasmine. Could that be it? And Jasmine will kick out before referee Ernest Wright's hand even came down for count of 1. Springboard forearm. Tag made. Kim Possible back in. Jasmine Irish whip. Look out, referee Ernest Wright. Trying to get out of the way. Shot right to the midsection of Jasmine. And Kim Possible now. Big shots, big back forearm, super kick. That could be it. Kim falls into the cover. 1, 2. Oh, I thought that could be 3, but Jasmine just gets the right shoulder up. And now Rapunzel and Shigo. Oh, big knee. Rapunzel and Shigo outside the ring brawling. Jasmine gets the better of the exchange here against Kim Possible. Looking for the DDT. Does not go for a cover, however. And now hits another one. That could be it. Kim Possible crawling back to the corner. Here's Jasmine. She'll hit the drop kick in the corner. Meanwhile, on the outside, Shigo taking it to Rapunzel. Leg drop across the bottom rope by Jasmine. And top rope moonsault. Are the Disney Queens going to be the #1 contenders for the tag team titles? Jasmine, you feel like the end could be closing in. What is she setting up for here? Oh, Kim with a block kick to the midsection. Another kick right to the gut. Oh, and hits the disaster kick from the top turnbuckle. Kim Possible going up to the top. Might be thinking about the senton and hits it. Here's the cover to battle for the tag team championships next week. And Kim Possible and Shigo have won and are the new #1 contenders. Well, next week, it's going to be the Daughters of Thanos against the new debuting Kim Possible and Shigo. Women's Disney Tag Team Championships will be on the line. What a debut for these two women. As up next, submission match between Matt McIntyre and Ernie, the leader of the Keebler Elves. Welcome back, everybody, here to FWE as we prepare for tonight's next chapter in a storied rivalry, a submission match.
Making his way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 103 pounds, Eerie.
Well, it has been no secret about the rivalry between Matt McIntyre and Ernie, the Keebler Elf. We haven't really seen this rivalry in any way come to a head. We saw both Ernie and Matt McIntyre win their qualifying matchups to be in that 8-man elimination championship match at FW Fantasia, and there were a couple of times we saw them have an exchange in that matchup, but we've yet to see them go one-on-one. Here tonight, we get to see them take each other on with no other interference, no other participants in the matchup. This is a submission match, which means that the only way you win is if you have your opponent tap out or give up. This challenge was issued by Matt McIntyre last week. We were awaiting word on whether Ernie the Elf would accept it. Remember, Ernie was in that #1 contenders match last week for the United States Championship. Anthony McCurry winning that matchup ultimately. I think that Ernie was kind of waiting to see if he would win that matchup or not before ultimately accepting Matt McIntyre's challenge, which now we can see challenge was indeed accepted for the match here tonight. But you gotta wonder, this is the first time that we're gonna see Matt McIntyre and Ernie the Elf squaring off. Ernie has heard this theme music numerous times so far here in FWE, but never when preparing in a one-on-one matchup with Matt. The lyrics of that song directed right at Ernie and the rest of the Keebler Elves. Down with the Keebler Elves. Matt McIntyre, a huge resentment to the Keebler Elves here tonight. He will be fueled by vengeance. Remember back to when he qualified for the Tri-Wizard Championship match at FW Fantasia. He said, yes, I want to win the title, but more than anything, I want to make sure that it does not fall into the hands of a Keebler Elf. Well, this is not going to be for the faint at heart. You're going to be looking to wear your opponent down enough that when you lock in the submission hold, they will have no choice but to tap out, in a sense saying, I quit. Submission has to take place inside of the ring. There are no disqualifications in a matchup like this. So we could see these two brawl all over the place, but the submission will have to take place between the ropes. How ugly is this going to get? Matt with a nice suplex there to Ernie the Elf. Usually as well as there's going to be a nice package, small package suplex. Matt going up to the top. Normally in a submission match, big elbow right across the sternum. You usually pick a body part, pick an expenditure to target to eventually then lock the submission move into. We'll see if these two end up doing just that, targeting a specific area. Reversed Irish whip there by Ernie the Elf. Referee administering the count. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little surprised that there's a potential count-out possibility here in a submission match. You can't win the match by count-out. Guess there could be a double count-out and it's called a no contest, but we don't want that to happen. And certainly these two do not want that to happen. They want a clear, decisive winner. Ernie, jawbreaker. Matt down. Then kicks Ernie away. And here we go. This is pretty much the story right here. This is how much these two hate each other's guts, as we've got a slugfest going on in Albany. Big right hands there by Ernie the Elf. And I think that second right hand may have caught Matt right across the bridge of the nose. Matt is bleeding as a DDT by Ernie the Elf. What kind of a repertoire do these two individuals have in terms of submission moves? As Matt McIntyre fired up after a drop kick to the back. Kick right to the gut. Now starting to work on the left leg area of Ernie. Brings Ernie up to the top turnbuckle. Matt might be thinking about something. Well, nope. Ernie kicks him away. And Matt, whoa, nice move up over the top. Missed the clothesline, did Ernie, but Matt didn't miss his clothesline off the ropes. Ernie down, but fires back with a right hand. And Matt, oh man, a full Nelson suplex. Right to the back of the neck of Ernie, a German as well. Looks like we're starting to see where Matt is targeting, the head and neck region. Bringing Ernie away from the ropes. And now, looking to lock in the crossface. Is Ernie gonna tap out? Is Ernie going to submit? Matt has it cinched in, and Ernie, no choice but to tap out. A level of revenge for Matt McIntyre as he forces Ernie, the leader of the Keebler Elves, to tap out. I feel like this rivalry is far from done, but Matt McIntyre picks up a crucial victory against a formidable foe. Up next, folks, the Tri-Wizard Championship is on the line. A ladder match. Dylan Young looks to get the title back from Shaggy Rogers.
The following contest is a ladder match and is for the Men's World Championship. Introducing the challenger, accompanied by Kyle Matthews. Representing the Thrill Seekers from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Dylan Young.
Well, Dylan Young at FW Fantasia was so close to defending his Tri-Wizard Championship, but came up just one spot short, eventually losing to Shaggy Rogers. Tonight, he invokes his title rematch in a ladder match.
And introducing the champion, accompanied by Ring Jones. Representing the corporation from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 126 pounds. The Men's World Champion, Shaggy Rogers.
It'll be Shaggy Rogers' first title defense since winning the championship at Fantasia. Shaggy Rogers and Dylan Young were the last two men remaining in that 8-man elimination match. Shaggy eventually winning the title. You notice both participants coming out here tonight with their respective tag team partners. Fred Jones coming out with Shaggy. Kyle Matthews coming out with his Thrill Seekers teammate, Dylan Young. Well, in a ladder match, there's no pinfalls, no submissions, no countouts, no disqualifications. You saw moments ago the Tri-Wizard Championship title belt hanging above the ring. You've got to set up a ladder, ascend, unlock the title belt hanging above the ring. And the first one to retrieve the title belt will be either the new or still the Tri-Wizard champion. And you see a ladder already inside the ring there. I believe that was Fred Jones depositing that in there for Shaggy to be able to use here. Dylan gets the knees up, stops the standing moonsault by Shaggy Rogers. And Dylan now with a big kick right there. It might be trying to hyperextend the elbow or dislocate the shoulder of Shaggy. Knee right to the gut. Nice drop kick there from Shaggy Rogers. And now hits a nice DDT, taking down the over 6 foot Dylan Young. 6'6" if I'm not mistaken. And again, Dylan working on the arm of Shaggy. This is an interesting strategy because you obviously need your appendages to be able to climb the ladder. You need your arms to be able to pull yourself up each rung. You obviously need your legs to be able to climb up each step of the ladder. As Dylan, with a nice move there on Shaggy, Shaggy rolls to the outside, and surprisingly, Dylan didn't just let him stay out there. He followed him out rather than trying to set up a ladder and go for the championship belt. That might cost him. Shaggy throws Dylan into the barricade, and now kendo stick in hand, just throws it across like a javelin. I couldn't tell if that hit Dylan in the face or just down maybe on his shoulder. But that could have been really dangerous. But that just shows what these two men are willing to do to win the championship tonight. Oh, wow! Shaggy, I think, landed on his feet. His left leg went up on the barricade, though, as Dylan into the ladder out here on the side of the ring. Shaggy with a standing moonsault, and now a second one. Dylan is down. Shaggy will continue the punishment on the outside. Big back elbow, looking for the stunner, the float over stunner. And now Shaggy maybe looking for the finishing blow, and he's going to hit another stunner. Dylan is down. Shaggy back into the ring. And now Shaggy would be smart to start setting that ladder up, which it looks like that's what he's going to do, looking to retain the title here tonight. Where is he going? Oh, he's going back out to meet Dylan, and Dylan float over into the DDT. Oh, look out. Oh, that ladder folded back up, and I think it landed on the lower back of Shaggy on its way down. So the ladder that was once set up now lays flat in the ring once again. Dylan hoisting up Shaggy. Not quite a backbreaker. That was more towards the ribs area that his knee went. And Dylan to the top rope. Double axe handle down to the floor. And now Dylan's got himself another ladder. Setting it up on the outside. What could Dylan be thinking here? Whatever it is, Shaggy doesn't want any part of it. Side Russian leg sweep. Out onto the floor. Very little matting out there. Concrete underneath. Shaggy with a DDT. Kick to the back by Shaggy Rogers. Surprisingly, no interference really from Kyle Matthews or Fred Jones. There's no disqualifications in this match. They could interfere as much as they want. We saw Fred put a ladder inside the ring. I think he also removed one of the top turnbuckles at one point. Kyle's been mostly out here, it seems, for support for his buddy from We the Coasters. And looking for the stunner again is Shaggy. The crowd asking for one more time. But Shaggy, now with Dylan down and out, looking to retain the title, sets up the ladder in the center of the ring. Dylan getting back to his feet once again. Does Shaggy go back out for him? No, he's going to begin the climb. He's got his hands on the title, but Dylan with a shot from behind. Shaggy again try to get the title belt. Dylan climbing up. Both men at the top of the ladder. Shaggy with a choke. Dylan fights it off. And Dylan is down. Shaggy with an opportunity, but Shaggy, what is he doing? Oh my gosh, he was going for the splash from the top of the ladder. Dylan was able to get out of the way. And somehow Shaggy still back up on his feet. He ascends the ladder again. And with Dylan dazed in the corner, Shaggy trying to unlock the clasp around the title belt. He's about 60% of the way there. Dylan, though, fighting. Shaggy, a little wobbly leg now. Dylan, up the other side of the ladder. This is not going to end well. Oh, big right hand from Dylan. And now Dylan trying to push Shaggy off the ladder. Shaggy fights back. Another right hand. Shaggy is down. Dylan looking to regain the title belt. He lost to Fantasia. Is Dylan going to be a two-time Tri-Wizard champion? And Dylan's got it! Dylan gets the title belt back. Dylan Young is a two-time champion in FWE. While Shaggy Rogers will only hold the title for 2 weeks, as Dylan Young is the new Tri-Wizard champion here in FWE. Thank you all for tuning in as we draw ever closer to FWE Sugar Rush. We'll see you guys next week.